We're literally already back in Emerald, and this time it was by the choice of you guys from the community post. Pokemon Emerald has an interesting selection of grass types available, especially with some having pretty unique dual typings. Some can also be obtained right out the gate, literally. Even with some of these grass dual typings though, there are a few battles that can definitely prove to be troublesome, especially this lady with red hair and her Torkoal. I think I have a decent strat in mind for taking her out, so hopefully it works. Also, I would like to make these into a weekly series, so be sure to let me know which game and typing you want to see next. For example, best team for Kanto, water types only. The comment with the most upvotes will be considered the winner. Once again, before we begin though, I just wanted to shout out my lo-fi channel, Luna's World, where I'm using lo-fi to write a story I'm currently cooking up. And I'm currently streaming on Twitch again as well. You can find me late at night at 9 PM PST, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays for sure. Other nights may vary. I'm currently playing through Pokemon Platinum. I will leave both links down below. What's cool about the grass type is that it's one of the 3 starter Pokemon choices. So naturally, of course, Sceptile is going to be on the team. I've used Sceptile plenty of times in past Pokemon playthroughs, and I have to say, it is one of my favorite grass-type Pokemon of all time. It's not the best of the bunch when it comes to grass types, but it's fun to use in a Hoenn run, especially in a run of only grass types. Its coverage, stats, and access to Leaf Blade are going to be essential for this team. I can even say Sceptile is a contender to be this team's MVP. Sceptile's moveset is going to consist of most of the important Emerald TMs. Because remember, in Gen 3, TMs are only a one-time usage. Leaf Blade can be learned at level 29, Earthquake can be found in the Seafloor Cavern, Aerial Ace can be won after defeating Winona, and Dragon Claw, which can be found in the Meteor Falls after getting Waterfall. I think it'll come in handy for Drake. I would also recommend getting Grovyle down to enough HP for Overgo to proc to spam heavy hitting Leaf Blades against Flannery's team. The next member we are picking up can be found on Route 102, being Lotad. Lotad can then evolve into Lombre at level 14, and then into Ludicolo once a Water Stone is obtained. All of this looks excellent on paper for a grass-only run, and you would be right, if this were a later gen. Don't get me wrong. Once Lombre is able to evolve into Ludicolo, it gets much better. Here's the thing though. Lombre is completely useless against Flannery because it gets no water moves until after Norman. And it can't evolve with the Water Stone until you have around 7 badges, depending on if you get it via shards or if you get it on the abandoned ship using Dive. It's still here though because it is one of the only grass types available, and the water typing is still good. Bottom line, it's garbage until it gets Surf. But for the later half of the game, it is one of the best members for the team. Ludicolo's moveset is where it shines. Surf, Giga Drain, Ice Beam, and the last move is up to you guys. Surf is earned after defeating Norman from Wally's dad. Giga Drain is obtained south of Mount Pyre, and Ice Beam is found on the abandoned ship after getting Surf. Ice Beam is the real prize here, as it will be your weapon of choice when going up against Winona. Well, kind of. It's mostly for Altaria. Closing out the first half of this mono grass team, we have one of the best grass types out there, being Breloom. Shroomish can be caught in the Petalburg Woods, and it evolves into Breloom at level 23. Grass is special in this gen, so unfortunately, Breloom's usage there isn't exactly great. But that's fine, because having that fighting type is going to be clutch here, especially going up against someone like Watson. I believe Breloom could be this team's MVP, more so than Sceptile, specifically due to its fighting type. Stats-wise, its physical attack is great, and speed, well, it's average. However, that means it's perfect for Stab Mach Punch. Speaking of, Breloom's moveset is going to consist of Mach Punch, Sky Uppercut, Bulk Up, and the last move is up to you. Mach Punch is learned at level 23, and Sky Uppercut is learned at level 36. Why 2 fighting moves, you might be asking? Mach Punch is priority, that's why. It sucks it doesn't have Technician here, I know, but we gotta do the best with what we got. Bulk Up can set up Breloom's attacks to new heights, and also give it defense at the same time, so that could definitely be fun. The TM for that can be won after defeating Brawly. As for its last move, I would say go for Return. It's pretty powerful, and can be found at Pacifilog Town. Next up is Shiftry, and because I just talked about it yesterday, I'm just gonna copy most of what I said. After double checking and realizing that Shiftry actually has base 90 special attack, and not lower like I had originally thought, I decided on it. Cacturne is fun, and it does have 115 in both attacking stats, but its speed is pretty mediocre. When Cacnea is caught also, you have to take time to level it up so it catches up with the rest of the team. And from past personal experience, it's kind of a chore. Seedot can be obtained right at the beginning of the game, so you have it longer. It evolves in the Nuzleaf at level 14, and then Shiftry via the Leaf Stone, which you can get while surfing on Route 119. Shiftry's Grass Stab may have been taken by Ludicolo, but it still has room to work with in its move pool. For the moveset, we have Bullet Seed, which can be obtained from an NPC right outside of the Petalburg Woods going to Rustboro. I also know Bullet Seed, but it's the best we got. Sorry. Rock Tomb, which can be earned after defeating Roxanne, Shadow Ball, which can be found on Mount Pyre, and Strength, which is handed to you after rock smashing some rocks in the Verdant Turf Tunnel. Rock Tomb can also come in handy against Flannery and Winona. For Winona, it can prove useful to wear down her Alteria's speed enough for Ludicolo to come in for an Ice Beam. Flannery is a tad more difficult. Rock Tomb can more than likely help out against most of her team, but I would actually have Dig on Nuzleaf as well to wear down the Sun from Torkoal, that way it's not as much of a nuke. At the penultimate spot of the team, if you're stranded on an island, this could be the Pokemon that saves your life, Tropius. Tropius is an amazingly designed Pokemon, and I think it is really adorable. But god, do I hate those stats. They are trash. But it is useful in this playthrough because of its secondary typing of flying, thus being able to be our flying user. Tropius can be caught on Route 119. Its moveset is pretty simple. Magical Leaf, Fly, Steel Wing, and the last move is your choice. Magical Leaf can be learned at level 31, Fly is obtained after beating May before heading into Fortress City, and lastly is Steel Wing, which can be obtained from Steven in the early game after delivering the letter to him in the Granite Cave. And the last Mon on our team is going to be the dancing superstar, Bellossom. Oddish can be found on Route 119, evolves into Gloom at level 21, and then later evolves into Bellossom via the Sunstone that can be found in Moss Deep City. I chose Bellossom over Vileplume simply because Magical Leaf is learned upon evolution. Therefore, no Grass TM is needed. If not for that, either option would be fine. Vileplume's Poison type isn't all that useful though. Stats wise, Bellossom is slow, but its special attack hits decent enough. Anywho, as for a moveset, Bellossom's move pool isn't exactly super deep, so the only two moves I can actually see being useful here are Magical Leaf, which I discussed, and Petal Dance if you want to wait for your Oddish or Gloom to learn it. I would say it's not 100% necessary though. Oddish gets it at level 39, and Gloom gets it at level 44. I guess Sunny Day, Chlorophyll, Solar Beam could be fun though, so if you want to try that, go for it. Well, that concludes another addition to the Hoenn Best Team Monotype series. This team actually looks really fun to use, and if you guys use it, definitely let me know how it goes for you down below. My favorite members are definitely Sceptile, Breloom, and Bellossom. Also be sure to let people know in the comments below if you have any viable strats going up against Flannery or Winona, because there might be someone who needs some guidance out there. Anywho though, like usual, let me know which game and which typing you want to see next for a Monotype Best Team. The one with the most upvotes will be the winner like usual.